So I think this is a good group to ask this. What do you think of when you see y equals mx plus b? It's no arbitrary collection of symbols for you, is it? It is full of meaning. Out of all the meaning-making opportunities you've had, it is the meaning made out of the meaning making. It's a result of activity, of processes you've engaged in, and it represents a rich example space for you. We know that meaning-making activity is important, and that there's this cyclical nature between meaning-making and meaning made, and then meaning-making again, and meaning made. This idea of packaging and unpackaging of ideas. But in all my experiences as a math student, I was also always given meaning made first. Even if I applied these concepts correctly, whose meaning was it? Was it mine? Did I own these ideas when I applied them? So we have this tendency to give students meaning made, but whose meaning is it? So we give them meaning we've made and ask them to use it. But whose meaning is it? So I really like Lamb's statement here, keep the formula like the end of a movie, don't spoil it by giving it away. Not too long ago, I had a student came to me brimming with excitement. We were working on this classic maximize the area problem, some of you may know it. And a lot of people were all, doing the whole vertex formula and everything. But this student came and said, why don't we just extend it and make it a square? And he kept coming to me, and I kept asking him, why? Why do you think this is the best? And he kept giving me more and more reasons until he felt convinced, and he owned that meaning. In fact, I saw him at a coffee shop, and he said, yeah, I know how it comes about, and I know that I'm right. So how can we empower students to own the meaning they've made? So when we teach something like factoring, and we come up with all these strategies that we say, hey, here's this general factoring strategy, I put colors in here, it's gonna be perfect for you. We should say, oh, try this example and then practice some problems. At best, they've become consumers of the meaning that we've made. So what if we reverse it and say, okay, you know how to expand, how do you go backwards? Why don't we do that? It comes down to trust. But they are capable. They just learn how to make you think that they're not. My realization of this came from diving into some of the thinking classroom practices of Dr. Peter Liljedahl. You, I'm sure, heard of some of these things. You can learn more here if you like. But the biggest lesson I've learned in implementing some of these structures has been that when you trust your students and you let go a little bit and let meaning making come first, you create a space for thinking. So one of the things is beginning lessons with good tasks. Emphasis on beginning. Good tasks is obvious. We want good tasks. But how do we start with a good task? Vertical non-permanent surfaces, really, it's been a game changer for me because it mobilizes ideas around where they travel, people see things, and also it creates this safe space. Students erase things, but they actually don't. They know they can, but they don't. Visibly random groups, and I know this is contentious, but for me, it's been an incredibly powerful tool for building community, breaking down social barriers, and most importantly, differentiation. Students can be put into different roles every time. So Peter's got all of these tools, but I can say one thing, there is no one thinking classroom. Every thinking classroom I've been in looks different and feels different. Ultimately, it's about putting meaning making first. And more importantly, as a teacher, for myself, I've began to question when I teach, where and when is there meaning making happening, and whose meaning is it? How am I pushing it around? Or am I pushing meaning made around, or am I getting them to make meaning? So, and I know teaching is hard, and we know this, but let this be a reminder to let them be authors of their meaning rather than consumers of meaning made. So if you feel like contacting me and having more of a conversation about this, feel free to. There's some resources there if you like. Thank you very much.